viewers would send me money to give me the authentic Asmongold experience. I spent a good 15 minutes making this jump, so please appreciate my position of tinkering.
Okay.
No one in this game seemed to acknowledge my masterful movement. Anyways, I decided that the steep price for coarse stone on the auction house was a bit of a ripoff, and decided to go all the way to Darkshore to get them myself. After a few hours, 30 minutes of honest work, I returned to Ironforge. Before I started this gruesome endeavor, I wish someone had told me that the level cap for my professions scale with my actual level. I had basically just wasted a bunch of time and gold to familiarize myself with the steep learning curve of this bastard 15-year-old game.
Yeah. I still keep thinking it's Small Dickus.
I disconnected, and a bug spawned me into guaranteed death by drowning in a location where I couldn't possibly recover my corpse.
Oh, you can go get the title
Blizzard, though. I got to my destination faster.
5 subs.
Together with my companions, I went back to Scarlet Monastery, where we got ambushed by angsty teenagers. Unlike my friends who fought bravely, I pathetically begged for my life, and bought myself some spare time by performing a sacred mating ritual. Lil Sundo the Lich graciously spared my life. When entering the dungeon, I experienced the usual fuckery that I've grown all too accustomed to at this point. Our healer dies and asks me to actually taunt the mobs. I inform our healer that I don't use defensive stance because I have too much testosterone. Our DPS claims he's doing everything and that I'm not capable of DPSing.
I'm sure they'll like that.
So
why are you playing a tank?
Yet I let the numbers speak for themselves.
Oh, winking damage meters.
Dies in the extremely
he's learning the game now.
Move. After which she tells me that I should have held aggro. Our quote-unquote DPS then cowers in fear instead of attacking the boss.
Wait, that's a DPS?
We wipe and start all over.
Backpedaling away without auto attack?
Manage to take down the boss. He drops these 6 set pants. I roll a 22, and a single tear falls down my face. We try to run the dungeon one more time, and with our inoptimal setup, we painstakingly skank our way through the whole thing.
That's impressive.
Excited, I type. Now the axe drops, and I roll a 99. However, the boss was nowhere to be found, because I'm apparently incapable of properly resetting a dungeon. Apparently, leaving and re-entering isn't enough. You also had to click a button. Since I'm goddamn tired of showing you me farming armory over and over again, here's my 37th run where I finally acquired the Ravager. Woo! Yeah!
There it is, dude.
This is the single biggest upgrade to the stand-and-hit gameplay. Now this game is fucking easy. Look, I don't even gotta do anything. Although, for fear of copyright infringement, I recreated this music piece myself with a royalty-free beat. You spin me right round, baby, right round, when we go down, down.
I hear that, alright.
I couldn't really find a matching beat, but you know,
that's really good.
Times are tough. Then I checked my mail to find the most generous donations to a crusade thus far. Daddy Chill graciously offers up the fiery war axe, or as he calls it, his kook cleaver, my first purple piece of gear. Excited to test it out, I go to Stranglethorn Bay, the North Korean border of Azeroth, home to the Gurubashi Arena, a coliseum of free-for-all PvP, where once every 3 hours the arena chest spawns. It was 6 AM and I decided to try my luck. At this ungodly hour, the arena wasn't filled with dozens of people, but rather just 2 individuals.
Just 2 dipshits.
Survivor was a level 44 warrior, and since I could tell he was enjoying World of Warcraft, I decided to extend the game's lifespan for him by a couple minutes, landing me the arena chest on my first try.
What?
I'll have you know that in over 100 hours of game time, looting this chest with PTSD from all the rogues that have previously unstealthed behind me, with the most nerve-wracking 5 seconds yet, perhaps on par with Hrothgar's final moments.
Yeah, why have an execute?
Damn you, turtle. I later tried again at 9 and 12 AM, and it turns out I just got extremely lucky. It's nearly impossible to get this damn chest. Satisfied with the spoils of battle, I went to Booty Bay, where I found an AFK player. Going against my better judgment, I decided to ruin his day. I should have looked twice though, because this was no player. It was the Horde Griffin Master, who ended my measly existence in seconds. I said, fuck this, it's time to go on an adventure. I managed to get
never
on the
hit him,
mountains
though.
between
I was
Stranglethorn
smarter
and
than
Darkwood
that.
by glitching up a wall. I looked into the horizon and immediately knew I had to go where no night elf had dared venture.
Yeah.
When I saw the hard, clear-cut line in the textures, I knew that Blizzard didn't intend for us to access this area. It looks fucking cool though. Exploration is definitely one of my favorite parts of MMOs.
We do this all the
Since
time.
this is a
This
long
is great.
journey,
I'll
I'll tell you a story along the way.
Okay.
So you know how I've consistently been getting disconnected from WoW? What
Yeah.
if I told you that the problem wasn't the Blizzard servers, but in fact my own computer?
I wouldn't
This is
believe you.
fucking nuts, right? But in my motherboard, there's this thing called a CMOS battery. And apparently,
What?
Windows relies heavily on this battery to tell the time. After 6 years, my CMOS battery had ran out of power, which caused my BIOS to not be able to store the time. 5 to
what?
10 times a day, it would set my Windows time to 11:30 p.m. What's funny is that my router relies on the time, so it would pop me off my internet every time that happened. I'd like to say that's why I haven't streamed in months. But truth be told, it's because I fucking hate streaming. Anyways, I ordered a new CMOS battery online, but because I'm
same.
stupid,
Yo, same,
possibly
dude.
because my parents dropped me on my
Fucking
head as a
sucks.
kid, but likely just due to my lack of education,
Totally
I
sucks.
bought the wrong one. And this next part is kinda unbelievable, but genuinely true. I happened to find the correct battery lying on the ground outside of where I do physiotherapy for my scoliosis.
That's
Together
bullshit.
with a friend, I busted
no
open my
fucking way,
computer
dude.
only to find myself in a troubling predicament. My
Okay.
motherboard, the Asus Maximus Formula 6, has
Yeah.
all this armor on it, and along with it, a massive design flaw. To get to the CMOS, I would have to literally take my entire PC apart
Just buy a new
to
one.
then unscrew the armor from the
Just
back
buy
of
a
the
new
motherboard,
one.
then install the new CMOS, put everything back together, and possibly twice in case the battery I found on the ground was used. Considering that it's 6 years since I built this PC and I almost bricked it trying to install an SSD, it's safe to assume that this process would completely break my computer.
Yes, there's no
My
way you're getting
solution?
through that.
I decided to
There's
use
no way.
knives, scissors, and pliers to directly cut into my motherboard. Oops. Eventually building my frustration to the point where I brutally ripped off the armor with my bare hands. Yeah! After
God
which
damn.
I put in the mysterious battery that I fucking found on the
God
concrete
damn.
outside, plugged my computer
Okay.
back in, and it literally fixed the entire problem with no repercussions.
Great.
Moral of the story? Use power tools on your motherboards, kids.
Keep
And
track
also,
of your
I
time.
really needed some filler for the middle of this video. I don't know if you can tell. Anyways, this is where I ended up. I'd gone all the way past Darkwood, Deadwind Pass, and the corner of the Blasted Lands, behind Zul'Gurub, to finally end up at the back end of the Tainted Scar, from where I only had one path available to me. I engaged in a kerfuffle with gravity and stress-tested my bones. I was then forced into a 10-minute resurrection sickness and a 25% durability penalty on all my equipment.
Oh, that's
Mind
great.
you, in an endgame zone with one singular
this
Hearthbringer
is
who enforced his own all-encompassing no Hearthstone
Yeah, he's a little bit low level for
After
this,
a fun
huh?
reminder of what World of Warcraft is actually like, I returned to the intended gameplay experience.
Of
I
Scarlet
made
Monastery.
a dreadful choice when I decided to go questing in Arathi Highlands.
That's a
Gotta kill
mistake.
these elite mobs. Unbeknownst to my party, I'd already attempted this yesterday with different people and I had Otto's head. There's two bosses, the other being Falcon Crest. You know the drill. We corpse walk into the castle. I
The
don't
exact
have any
same
healing
thing.
potions, and I refuse to use shields.
Fuck 'em,
Of
dude.
course,
Never
we
use
fail
a shield.
miserably. But you gotta understand,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
veterans of this shit. At level 36, we're dungeon-hardened fucking animals.
right.
All of us have been through
That's
this
right.
countless times. It's
That's
a
right.
goddamn well-oiled machine. Our mages polymorph Otto and the regular elite mob, a spell that would keep them as helpless sheep for 45 seconds, if not for the fact that we immediately damage them breaking the spell. With our primal instincts, we execute extremely basic game mechanics and
Why do
exude
that?
the very simple coordination required to beat this. That is right until a party of Horde players waddled in and clearly demonstrated that they didn't intend to wait 10 minutes for these dudes to respawn. We wipe and begrudgingly return to the castle, then
Typical
wait
Horde.
patiently. That is until 7 minutes later, when I realized that Falcon Crest's loot belonged to us, as one of our party members had been alive when our assailant killed him, leaving not just all 5 Horde players unable to complete the quest, but also my
They didn't
4
wait
core
for him to
comrades
reset.
who'd be able to rectify the situation in 3 measly minutes. It was at this point I said, "It's been a pleasure doing business with you," and continued my crusade to ruin the authentic classic experience. I decided I'd had my fill of the patented kill an orc in a castle gameplay, and
Yeah.
began the quest chain for all of Scarlet Monastery.
Ooh.
Seeing as I'd farmed one wing 37 times, I
Might as well do it again.
experience the whole dungeon.
Yeah.
After undergoing a multitude of repetitive
He
tasks,
also did the library,
I
to be
headed to
fair.
Desolus. Now you might recall me having a tough time in Stone Talon
Oh,
Peak,
no.
which is on the way to where I'm going.
He dances
I made sure
with
to
me.
rectify
Oh,
the
jeez.
situation at hand. It's always exciting discovering